A mileage tax? This is the new form of tyranny coming to America, and I have an obligation to tell you about it. The first state to implement this was actually the state of California. Under Gavin Newsom's watch, AB 130 was signed, which had a provision stating that if developers travel too many miles to get a specific residential project done, then they will have to contribute $16,000 per unit to a pool of funding. But they won't be footing that bill. No, it'll get passed on to you, either as a buyer or a renter, and get built into that bill. And the fund would be for developing low VMT projects. But the reason they're doing it this way is because they can't do it out front and make it so obvious. Like, we're going to do a mileage tax on every single individual directly. But that is still coming. Currently, only 3 states can fund their roads using transportation revenues, and California happens to be one of those states. The Marxists that are passing this are pointing out that gas taxes are regressive because those that have a vehicle with a terrible fuel economy are ending up paying more in gas taxes for every mile that they drive. But this is just a cop out so that they can pass this through. Let's look at what the Biden administration, for example, buried in a bill that he had signed while he was in office. And that is a pilot study to look at whether the government can successfully track a per mile user fee. Basically, can they keep track of how many miles you drive and then tax you based on what the tracker says, while simultaneously guaranteeing privacy? Well, here's the issue with that. This would be looked at as violating the Fourth, Ninth, and 14th Amendments. This is insane. How do you even do this within the bounds of the Constitution? So basically, the bill said that they could look at third party onboard diagnostic devices, smartphone applications, telemetric data collected by automakers, motor vehicle data obtained by car insurance companies, data from the states, or motor vehicle data obtained from fueling stations. Now, there are concerns by these Marxists about free riders. They don't want a state by state system. They want a federalized system where all 50 states are under a requirement for a VMT tax. So they're worried. Like, right here, it's very clear. They say, look, free riders, they're going to go to states where they don't have to pay and they're going to end up getting away with it. You can actually thank Oregon for this first. They started as early as 2001.